Online at techtimeradio.com.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Well, welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, technology news of the week, the show for the everyday person, talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host and technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise. Our co-host here, Mike Roday, is in studio. He's an award-winning author and a human behavior expert. Now, of course, we're live streaming during our show on 5 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, X, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter by visiting us at patreon.com/techtimeradio. We are friends from different backgrounds, but we bring the best technology show possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, today on Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, we're winding back the clock and revisiting the lawsuit that silenced Napster, the platform that changed the music industry forever. In a cosmic twist, NASA has confirmed that debris from a space station made an unexpected house call in Florida. Meanwhile, Spotify is turning up the potential and to introduce Music Pro, a new paid tier that will let users remix their favorite songs. Over in the realm of education, Meta is setting the stage to transport students and teachers into a new dimension with Quest VR headsets. However, they also have to navigate the complex web of data privacy, leading to the closure of threads in Turkey due to legal constraints. Then in our main feature, we unravel the complexities of phishing and scam emails and showcase how Windows Sandbox, that's right, if you got a Windows PC, listen today, or the Windows Sandbox can be your digital fortress against these threats. Now, stay tuned, of course, dear listeners, as we unravel the mystery and code of circuits and whiskey. Grab your VR headset, adjust that tinfoil hat, and join us on Tech Time Radio. We're getting ready to go. Mike, of course, we have your mesmerizing moment. It's going to be a pretty large topic we're going to talk about today, so we'll probably have a banter between all 4 of us in studio regarding that.
Dang it.
We have our technology fail of the week, and of course, our pick of the day whiskey tasting with our selected pick of the day getting 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. Though, now we're going to move on to the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, Meta wants to put students and teachers in Quest VR headsets. Let's go to David Larson with more on this story.
If Meta has its way, students will tour faraway museums, walk among dinosaurs, and view human intestines up close, all from the comfort of their classroom, using Quest Virtual Reality VR headsets. Nick Clegg, president of global affairs at Meta, said in an interview conducted remotely using Quest VR headsets, "We accept that it's going to take a long time, and we're not going to be making any money on this anytime soon. We're investing billions of dollars in constantly iterating on the technology, and teachers have been clamoring for such a product. Meta is searching for a killer app for its Quest headsets, which today are primarily used for gaming. Could it be education? Back to you guys in the studio."
You know, that dude sounds like Casey Kasem.
Does this sound
Have
like
you
Casey
noticed
Kasem?
that?
Okay, I did not notice that.
Okay.
This is Casey Kasem.
Yeah, you
Top-
remember
Shaggy?
Casey
Wasn't he
Kasem?
Shaggy?
He was also Shaggy.
Okay,
yeah.
so here's what we got going on. You ever remember back in the 80s, there's this company called Apple, and they decided to
And
go
this is how
to-
Apple did it.
This is exactly how Apple became the computer of the educators, of the elite at the time, because what they did is they worked with educational school systems to bring the Apple II to the classroom, allowing every teacher to have an Apple II computer. If you signed up for it, they would just ship it to you for free, give you a disc. I remember playing Jungle Hunt on this. Our teacher, Mr. Juarez, had this set up. And so if you got done with your math quiz or you got done with your spelling quiz, then you could go in the back, and if you're the first one there, you could choose your game. And man, my math quizzes never got so many zeros. I just would write 1 2 1 2 1 2 down, turn that in so I could go and play Jungle Hunt.
You saying that makes absolute sense. Your impulse control and your ability to not try to get to the goal instead of.
Well, yeah. What do I need math for? Okay,
what do you need math for? Who cares about that?
All right. So last fall, Meta announced it was supplying VR equipment and resources to 15 U.S. universities to use, essentially training nurses, teaching languages, and helping businesses students learn soft skills like interviewing. Now, though, for this fall, they're making a huge switch to go for the students ages 13 and up. They are essentially engrossing education apps and the teachers with not only a free Quest device for the teacher, but one for the classrooms. Now, you're going to give a free Quest device to a teacher and one to be used in the classroom itself. Now, the problem with this, though, is essentially these things have to be sanitized because they're a whole immersive VR set.
Yeah.
They also break quite easily. So it's not like a computer that's sitting on a desk. You're going to have this. You have your 2 control panels that you have for your hands to simulate your hand punching and grabbing and everything else.
You're
you have
supposed
this
to be punching anybody.
Well, you do punching.
This is for educational purposes.
Okay, I'm sure, but working out. There you go. Lifting weights or whatever they're going to have you do.
Okay, is that what they're going to use it for PE now?
Well,
okay.
$15 million infrastructure costs. $15 million to get these in the hands of teachers and students for this upcoming fall. Do you think this is going to work, or do you think this is something
this is one of the uses of VR that I support. This is something that I think is cool. If immersing a student in like being able to take a trip to the Louvre just by using a VR headset,
okay,
that would be awesome. And how much I love dinosaurs, and that would be cool. As long as the stuff is properly done and it's not like a video game.
Okay, so you're all about this, and
I think this is a great idea.
Okay,
I think this is where I think this was probably a wise choice for Meta to make, because we all know that VR is really not catching on like they hoped.
Yeah, but you know what? I actually think this has a chance, right? If you're gonna have all these devices, you spend all this time. I mean, because Meta's been in this space for 10 years.
They've been trying to conquer this for 10 years, and they moved nowhere. They really haven't gone anywhere.
And so Apple just came out with their new device, and they haven't thought about doing this at all. So is this the time where Meta actually beats Apple to what made them successful? If I was going to release this new device, although it's $3,000 a pop, which is probably why Apple doesn't want to give it away to the schools, versus $300 to $900 to make.
I don't know. You know what I think Apple is.
What's that?
I think they're going to follow up on this a little later and be like, "Hey, you saw how well we did with the Apple in the classroom. How about the Apple VR headset?"
Yeah. So maybe
they'll be like, "Yeah,"
and then they throw all those ones away.
Yeah, we know how devoted Apple people are.
I mean, they are. I mean, once you get
like
an Apple
groupies.
device, and I like Apple device. So what do I have here in the studio?
The Apple cult. You are part of the Apple cult.
Oh, but I still like PCs too. I have a PC that I use, so I'm split between both. I like them both about the same. One does something a little bit better, in my opinion, and one does.
Yeah, it
something
depends on what you want to do with it. We both know that Apple is really good at the video editing, and stuff
sound
like that.
and music. They have that market, but you know what they're not good at? Having 30 different apps that you need to use for different stuff on a PC, which is much better.
Yep.
All right. You know what? Things are falling from the sky, Chicken Little. What do we have on our next story?
Okay. Well, imagine you're sitting at home.
Okay.
What do you do in the evening? You're playing video games or, eating dinner, and something comes crashing through your roof.
I would be freaked out.
Would you be freaked out? Well,
yeah.
If you were in Naples, Florida on Monday, that might have happened to you.
Oh boy.
a cylindrical object came crashing through the roof of a Florida home this was last month, not last Monday.
Yeah, okay.
And was identified as
confirmed it on Monday, though.
Yeah, it was confirmed on Monday that this is what it was a chunk of space junk.
Oh, wow.
That was discarded from the International Space Station. This is one of those things This is one of those things that we have feared since we have started putting, because you put stuff up there and it just turns into trash. And
does anybody collect it and recycle it? It just goes across the atmosphere, right?
It usually falls into the atmosphere and burns up, which was what this was expected to do.
Uh-oh.
So this was a metal support that was used to mount old batteries on a cargo pallet for disposal. The pallet itself was jettisoned from the space station in 2021, and the load was expected to burn up on entry into Earth's atmosphere. But this piece survived.
Oh.
This chunk of metal, it weighed 1.6 pounds or 0.7 kilograms and was 4 inches or 10 centimeters tall and roughly 1.5 inches or 4 centimeters wide in diameter. Homeowner Alejandro Otero told television station WINK at the time that he was on vacation when his son told him what had happened. He came home early to check on the house, found the object had ripped through the ceiling and torn up the flooring.
That sucker had to be humming in there, right?
Oh, yeah. We're talking about something that's falling at terminal velocity.
So that's like 300 plus miles per hour?
That's a lot. That's a lot.
So okay.
I don't know my math on that. So.
I failed my math classes to play.
Well, yeah, you were playing,
but I do know that was about 300 miles per
hour. He basically said he was in complete disbelief, and was grateful that nobody was there to get hurt. But yeah, that it's happening now. Now all that space junk is coming.
So there should be a recycling group that goes on out there and tries to pull all that, right?
That's cost prohibitive. They're not going to be able to do that. Okay. I mean, it's eventually going to, especially with all the Starlink satellites and everything, it's going to be so cluttered, but there's going to look like what's that show? WALL-E. You ever watch that movie, WALL-E?
WALL-E, yep.
And how bad that was?
Thank you for the reference.
Yep.
WALL-E is my favorite human behavior reference.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it has one of the best future predictions of how humans are.
All right. Okay. Well, that's a great story. Now, let me just tell you, everybody, if you're trying to watch our Facebook feed, maybe Meta got mad with us at our first story, and they're definitely going to get mad at us at our fourth story. So our stream is not streaming on Meta right now. So make sure you go to YouTube to find on Facebook. I'm sure it'll be back there tomorrow.
Why, Mark? Why?
Well, I don't know.
Just saying the facts, buddy.
I know that there were some configuration issues, so I'm sure it'll work next week. So join us over on YouTube there, Facebook people. Like all right, let's go to story number 3.
You've been having a whole bunch of problems with these guys.
Facebook is my number one enemy.
Nightmare.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Odie.
Yeah.
It's
TikTok.
blue.
It's blue. Thank you, Nathan.
No, not a problem.
TikTok is rolling out a new feature for anybody that wants to be a wannabe music editor, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're partnering with Spotify, and it's going to be a paid tier, which kind of sucks, but nothing's free in this world.
Nothing's free anymore unless you give away your data.
Yeah, you're a lot of things free as long as you're giving away your data.
Yeah,
and essentially it lets users speed up, slow down, mash up, and edit songs in the app.
Is it on the fly or is it pre-done and you have to reload it?
It's on the fly.
Okay.
Is this something cool
like
that
a DJ kit that you'd have built
which
into
is really interesting because DJs in themselves, a lot of people are now, I've seen, or I know that's catered towards me because it's my For You page, but a lot of people that I've seen are buying little mini mixers and creating the most horrendous mashups, like SpongeBob with Soldier Boy.
Okay.
And I find that entertaining, so I'm glad to see that that's becoming a thing on TikTok.
Are you a big Spotify user?
Yes.
Okay. I like Spotify too.
Are you a TikTok user?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
but TikTok is on the forefront
TikTok
of music
DJ.
right now.
It is.
I work in the radio.
You work at a studio.
I listen to the music on all of our stations, and a lot of them are coming from TikTok.
Well, isn't
first.
TikTok like in everybody's face all the time anyway.
Right.
Yeah, well, it's the
But
number one
but
social media app now.
Nowadays, the music is coming from TikTok and then it's trending on the station when it used to be the reverse.
You used to get it on the station first, and if it was really popular, somebody put it. But yeah, so new artists are coming out and they're released right to TikTok. Sometimes to Reels also, so it's not that they're skipping the Meta platform, but it's going right out there, so you can listen to it live first, and then you can get the replay on the radio station. And a very
common thing is that a song will come out, the original song will come out on TikTok, and then let's say a month or so later, this is just all hypothetical, a remix of that will come out, but it's really just the song either sped up or slowed down. So now the fact that you can do that specifically on TikTok right then and there is just really quick.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm not going to be doing it.
You're not going to be doing it.
Come on, you're going to be mixing. It could be DJ Mike.
I'll
in the house on the main stage.
That's right. DJ Mikey Mike.
There you go. All right.
That's right. DJ Mikey Mike.
All right. Let's go to story number 4 now. Meta has to close Threads in Turkey to comply with an injunction prohibiting data sharing with Instagram. Let's go and take a look at our reporter on the story just breaking this week.
Meta said on Monday that it plans to temporarily close Threads in Turkey on April 29th, in response to an interim injunction imposed by the Turkish Competition Authority last month over the way Meta shares data between Threads and Instagram. The Turkish Competition Authority, TCA, known as Rekabet Kurumu, noted on March 18th that its investigations found that Meta was abusing its dominant market position by combining the data of users who create Threads profiles with that of their Instagram account, without giving users the choice to opt in. This is the latest in a long line of regulatory battles Meta has faced in the European region.
So,
all right.
So Meta is in trouble again.
Meta's in trouble
and
again.
They are complying with an injunction.
So they're actually obeying the injunction, but they are spamming all their users. Over 100 Threads has amassed 130 million users. Essentially, all of those users are going to get this deal that says, we disagree with the interim order, but we believe in compliance with the Turkish legal requirements. But we are, of course, are going to appeal, Meta wrote in a blog post. The TCA's interim order leaves us with no choice but to temporarily shut down Threads in Turkey.
Yeah, temporarily.
That's
the key word right there.
There, you're going to receive the buildup happens on April 29th. And users in Threads, if you want to piss off your users, this is how you do it. They're going to receive daily emails reminding them that Thread is going to be disabled in Turkey. Now, I get these. I have a DirecTV system, and every once in a while, they'll go through a station combative issue where the local station wants to get paid more money for DirecTV to sell them. And you'll go to that station, and then they'll have this little reader bar that says our station will be temporarily removed if you don't call now.
Somebody's flexing their power.
Yeah, but how would you, as a user, get an email daily from Threads telling you that this is going to be taken care of? There's two things that happen. Either one, you call up and you complain to the Turkish government saying, why are you doing this?
Yeah, that's
or
really
two, you
help.
delete the freaking app because it's so darn annoying.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's exactly the wrong thing of what I would be doing here.
Well, at least,
of course, what Meta is doing.
At least they're not Google, who was shutting off stuff in California.
Yeah,
because California is trying to get them to do stuff.
Yeah, that was one of our stories that didn't quite make our top stories. That's a very interesting story that's going on there too. Well, you know what? That ends our stories for our top technology stories of the week. Moving on, we have our letter segment up next with a few different items for us to talk about in the studio. Each of us have one letter to read, and they're very tricky. There's a couple that really, one almost got me to click on a link that I shouldn't have. So we're going to break right now for a commercial. We will see this show hitting 88 miles per hour in our next segment. See you after this commercial break.
This is Mark.
And Greg.
For Copiers Northwest.
With a terrific offer.
Called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner.
One of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service.
as long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
Or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
Well, welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Our weekly show covers the top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And, of course, with a little whiskey on the side. Today, Mark Gregoire, our whiskey connoisseur, is back in the studio. So what has Mark chosen for us today?
Today, you are drinking Hirsch, the Single Barrel Double Oak. Now, from Hirsch's website, this is Hirsch's the Single Barrel Double Oak. It is aged 8 years in New American Oak Barrel with a char number 4 and finished in a custom char number 1. New American Oak Barrel for 1 year. Only 30 barrels are available in the second Hirsch, the Single Barrel Double Oak release. This bourbon is maple sweet on the nose with layers of caramel, fig, and tobacco, all held together by a soft oak presence. On the palate, you get leather, baking spice, vanilla, and caramel. Now, this is from the Holtling and Company. It's an unknown distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. It's straight bourbon, aged 9 years, 112 proof. The mash bill is 72% corn, 13% rye, 15 malted barley. The price is $150, but it is a little bit in short supply, so we're seeing the secondary being around $220.
Ooh, $220.
Yeah, this isn't going to be on your shelf.
No, well, you know what? It'll be on Mark's shelf. And I'm just going to go over and visit Mark all the time so I can have sips of it. What was your first taste in it? What did you think?
So far, it's not bad.
I liked it. I thought it was actually a smooth. I always wait for that first bite to be there, and that was not bite at all.
Most of the time, my first sips aren't really that awesome, and after it's sat around for a little bit, they just get better.
What proof is this again?
112.
112. You know what's bad about this? I did not feel, because like last week's, was that 119 last week or 110?
Well, I got the bottle right here because I'm taking it back.
Okay, you're taking it back.
116.
116. So that actually, I really felt like a wow. That was a
well, that had rye in it. So
yeah, that was brutal last week.
It was brutal. But you liked it at the end.
I liked it.
You liked it at the end.
That was the Collie Kaylee one, right?
What do you think? What did you think of this?
Oh, I haven't tried it yet.
You haven't tried it yet?
Yeah.
Well, we just had our
It's going to take a couple sips to
I know, that's what he told me, so now I'm kind of like...
Well, there's a couple things. Number one, this is everybody's first sip of whiskey for the day, so it always takes a while for your palate to
warm up
as such. And then especially if you have not had anything to eat just before it.
Which is me.
Your juices really are not flowing, and it's a hard sip otherwise.
Yeah, let me tell you, it was.
Okay. All right. Well, I can tell you that I was pretty fond of it. Is there anything else that we have to look forward to in our mumble?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Of course. So stay tuned, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
There you go.
And put those comments in there about the whiskey, and especially about a whiskey you would like us to review.
There you go. Whiskey. That way Mark can buy it, and then I can sip it, and it can go back on a shelf. Mark's got a pretty high. He's got like 3 different tiers of shelving at his place. So
yeah, I know.
The high tier stuff and the middle tier stuff.
Well, it's pretty bottles and open bottles. And then when Nathan comes over.
Nathan bottles.
Nathan bottles.
The cheap stuff.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. All right. Well, with our first whiskey tasting completed, let's move on to our feature segment today. We bring back the funny yet informative reading of emails that I received during the week. This includes scam, phishing emails, and all-out mistruths disguised as legitimate emails in the segment we call Letters.
Letters, we get letters. We get back of letters. Oh, letters, we get letters. And the letters all have
All right, before we kick off letters, this is where I'm going to start. We're going to talk about a device called the Windows Sandbox, okay? The Windows Sandbox, and Mike, feel free to do this on your machine as we go here. Now, essentially, all of us probably don't have a spare computer that they have on a specific network that is tied in so they can load an illegal software and spam software and different devices that they format at a constant rate every month or so. So essentially what happens if you don't have a Nathan setup, you can essentially create a setup here where your computer can become a sandbox. And what that means is essentially this is a place where you can test links. This is a place where you can test loading software, and essentially it creates an instance of a virtual machine, which means it's not your real machine. You can test it, make sure it's safe. And then when you close it, it essentially erases everything that you just did into an environment. So you don't have to worry about your main machine getting hacked or taken care of or compromised. And all of this is available for anybody that has a Windows 10 or a Windows 11 PC. So here's kind of a Nathan Nugget and a letter segment we're going to be talking about. Now, the first thing you need to do is go to your search bar, and you want to type in Windows Sandbox and see if Windows Sandbox is preloaded on your computer or not. If you have a Windows 11 PC that you've upgraded to, some of them by default actually enable the Windows Sandbox. Some people do not enable the Windows Sandbox. So if you type in your search bar, just Windows Sandbox, and nothing comes on up for your application, then what we're going to do is we're going to help you install it right now. So the first thing, if that does not happen, so everybody's hopefully going to their start bar and they're typing in Windows Sandbox. If they do not see anything, here's what I need you to do instead. Go into your start bar and type in the word Windows Features. Now, this is essentially will open up the Windows features of your operating system in itself. And all you got to do is hit enter, and it will bring up a whole list of applications that you can load on your device itself. Windows 10, Windows 11, this is the internal components of your Windows system. So again, you typed in Windows feature. Now, if you scroll through there, you're going to see this thing that's called Windows Sandbox. You're going to want to put a little check next to the Windows Sandbox. This will essentially then start downloading applications onto your machine, or if they're already pre-cached on your machine, it will just download those automatically. And it takes about a minute or two to download the Windows Sandbox. It will then require you to do a reboot of your machine. And once you reboot your machine, you are now able to move into the Windows Sandbox environment. So did you find it, Mike?
I don't have it on here.
Keep on scrolling down. You take a look for Windows.
I scrolled down the entire thing. I do not have Windows Sandbox.
Windows, look in your operating system area there.
This is an early version of Windows 10.
It's an early version. Well, it should still absolutely be in there. Take a look for it under the features. You're going to take a look under the search box options. You'll have it. So once you do that, you're going to restart your machine itself. And then you're going to the start bar, and you'll search for the Windows Sandbox. Now, this is essentially going to open up a window. Mark has it on his machine over here in the corner. And essentially, it opens up a window that looks just like your standard Windows PC, except for it's a window that has a start bar, it has a browser, and defaults to the Edge browser. So if you want to load Chrome on there, you're going to have to load Chrome, but don't close the window, because once you close the window, it essentially erases everything. But this is a place where you can test URLs, you can test phishing URLs, and instead of having a separate machine in itself, the Windows Sandbox keeps your environment safe. So does everybody understand that? Hopefully you got a little bit of a Nathan Nugget at the same time before we get into letters on how to use a Windows Sandbox. Now, Mark, I think you've been using it.
Nathan Nugget. That's not a Nathan rant.
There you go. So you have it on your machine. Do you like using the Windows Sandbox?
I love it.
You love it.
Absolutely love you. I use it all the time.
Okay, so that way if you have a link that you don't know about or something that was in there, you can just drag and drop it. You can take your operating system, drag it into the window itself on that Windows Sandbox, see if it's legit, and see what happens.
Yep.
All right, let's have you start with our letter segment. What letter do we have here?
Well, I got a letter from Best Buy.
Okay.
It was awesome. It's from Best Buy. It was valid email address. They're telling me I can save up to 50% on all these different specialty items, and to click on the shop now.
Okay. Do you know that Best Buy has been hacked not once, not twice? Within the last year, how many times do you think it's been hacked?
3 times a lady?
That's correct. 3 times. So essentially this email comes to me, and this is a spoofed email. It absolutely looks like it comes from Best Buy. And take a look at the front of it. It's got like my account information in there.
Yeah.
It says shop now, save up to 50% off. And I am a very frugal individual. Some people call it another thing, but I call myself frugal.
That's
but when you click
euphemism.
That's right.
When you click the shop now, it does not go to the website to shop.
It does not. So all of a sudden it came up and it started asking me for my username and password. I'm like, well, shop now. Shouldn't it open up the page itself? Go and take a look at what's available in Best Buy. That would be my expectation. And 50% off, there should be some great things available. So I thought I made a mistake. So I clicked on the link again and it asked for my username and password. Now, I typed in my actual username and password. And it did not work on the second time. And I said, uh-oh. I may be in trouble. It all looked legit. Everything was there. So I immediately then went to bestbuy.com, logged into my account, immediately changed the password. Now, I have a stored credit card on my Best Buy account, and I just gave them the credentials with my username and my password. I had also given them my extra bonus points that you get from buying stuff that was available there. Now, I realized that it was a fake after it didn't go and click on the link to more items to buy. And after I typed in the password for the second time. So it got me. It got me. But I was quick reacting, went in and changed my username and password, and no one had time to go in and
I got two lessons from this one. Number one, don't use the same password for every site, because even if you had changed the Best Buy, if you use that for a lot of other sites, they'll try that on your Gmail and they'll try logging in everywhere else to get stuff. So it's good to have unique passwords. And number two, that this was a real email address. It really came from Best Buy. They just hijacked that account.
Yes.
So even if it comes from a valid email address, you still have to be careful.
You got to be careful. Go and click on the site itself. So it was really good. It would have got me.
It took advantage of you not paying attention.
Yeah, well, it also took advantage of Best Buy security, which Geek Squad should be all on top of this. So get in charge of your security and make sure nobody's hacking.
We have learned, the one thing that I have learned on this show is that nobody's safe.
That is correct. All right. So I got an email here from hello@mailprotector.com. Now, I didn't look at Mail Protector really well. So the O has a little two ellipses above the O. So that means it's not really mailprotector.com. It's mail PR special O protector.com. And it says, let's face it, email is broken. What does that mean? Threats like phishing and impersonations are the aspects of the problem, but now why is email broken? It essentially has a seminar that I can sign up to find out more. Come and learn about our zero trust approach to stop.
Wow, that's so
threats.
meta.
So this is really good. It says, see for yourself, Friday, April 12th at 11 a.m. Eastern. So I could sign up and learn more from Mail Protector, which Mail Protector is a company that does protect your email. And when you click on this link, it essentially asks you for your username. It asks you for your email. So it wants you to create an account to attend this event on Friday, April 12th. Why is it doing that? Because it wants to know if I use a password repeatedly on a different site. So when I create this account on a fake site in itself, they will now have a username for me. They'll now have a password, and they can go and hit all my social media accounts with this password I just put in there, because most people reuse their passwords on each of their logins. So another very tricky email, and I did not get caught on this one.
I think the message here is don't ever do anything that your email inbox has.
Okay. Don't do anything.
Just leave your emails alone, and don't even.
If it's really important, they'll mail you a real letter.
If it's your boss, he'll eventually call you and yell at you.
Okay.
But don't. I wouldn't.
Okay.
Don't use your email anymore.
Okay. All right. So what do you have over there?
Well, I have two letters in my hand.
Two letters. Okay.
I will read the body of the letter.
Okay.
And then I will tell you what happened.
All right.
Hi. I came across your website and noticed a few errors that could be easily fixed and may be harming your rankings in Google. I get these.
Okay.
I would like to send you a quick video highlighting these and offering some tips for improvement. It's completely obligation free and you should get some value from it. Are you the right person to send this to? If so, I can send it to you sometime this week. Regards.
Okay.
Now, these two letters say exactly the same thing.
Oh, there's 2 letters there with exactly the same thing. It must be from the same person then.
No, one is from Oliver and one is from Randy.
Oh, they must be from the same company
and
though.
Oliver is from onlinereport.co.
Okay.
And Randy is from Randy at flashaudit.co.
How's that possible? They have exactly the same email?
It's exactly the same thing.
So maybe Randy just decided to send it to his buddy and his buddy cut and paste to help out Randy?
Who knows, man?
Or
this is a scam.
It was a scam from a factory?
One was sent on April the 9th and the second one was sent on April the 15th. And almost everything exactly the same except for the subject line on one that says free video audit and it doesn't have the same, but 2 recipients is the exact same thing.
Okay.
But it's completely the same. So you got 2 people sending you the same email from 2 different company quote unquote accounts.
Have you seen the movie Beekeeper?
Yes, I really like that movie.
You really like that movie?
Yes.
So everybody should watch The Beekeeper that came out.
I was
Jason
completely
Stamos.
on board with what Jason Statham did
Or Statham, that's what it was. Statham.
I was completely on board with how he handled that particular problem.
Now, it kind of glamorizes really the hacking environment of people. So, but a lot of those aspects of how those hacking situations work, it's very much like a kind of a showcase, very much glitzy and glamour and lots of different stuff.
That's how the car business is.
Yeah.
The car business is almost exactly the same as some of that stuff that they were talking smack about on that show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very much the same type of deal. All right. Last but not least, I think Odie has a letter to read to us too.
Yeah, mine's from SV Media Virtual Conferences.
Okay.
And it has a .com, so I don't think it's that crazy.
Okay.
The subject says, learn from expert-led sessions how to rectify common security oversights. And then it basically goes off about software licenses that can be used on the cloud and how it's great to be moving to the cloud. And it says something at the bottom, a little button, view agenda.
Okay.
What happens when you click on
So
it?
when you clicked on the view agenda, it came up with a list of an agenda that was there. And then it says to find out. So actually is legitimate to a point. Comes from a .com. Somebody purchased a .com that is in there. But then all of a sudden, if you want to learn more about the agenda and the speakers that are going to be speaking at this event, they come with PDFs. Now, when the PDF comes on up, immediately it opens up another redirect. So it doesn't open up the PDF, and it has anything from porn to video game sales to illicit drugs.
In the PDF?
Well,
no, the
does.
PDF is a command that opens up another.
That's
link.
correct. That is correct. So essentially, it looks all legit. It's really there. And so if you actually do research on that company actually exists out there. But each of their PDFs that they have for each of their speakers on their agenda essentially goes to a redirect and sends you spam information to click on before you open up the PDF.
Is this a spoof site that's using them, or is this them using the technique?
So I think this is a site that probably has free advertising that they got through some type of third party that they paid for to get clicks, because they have ads down at the bottom like you see on a Google ad type of deal.
Right.
But the redirect part of it, I don't know if the company even knows. I reached out to them that the company that they're using to create these agendas and have everything essentially redirects you first before it opens up that PDF file.
I think we should send the beekeeper in.
You should send the beekeeper in.
That's right.
Have them take care of everything.
Yeah, let's get Jason on that.
Get him with a big shark and just.
Yeah, have you ever opened up a website where like you click on a link and then all of a sudden something else pops up? And then
yes, every time I
yes, those were very common in the 90s.
Those were. So essentially,
you would click on a stupid link and then suddenly like all these other pop-up windows would show up.
So it's kind of the same type of deal. So it's an inadvertent way. The company may not even know that they were paying for this service to host their files. And essentially that service was selling out to somebody to have each of those links.
You know, Mike, you said it earlier. At this point, just throw away the whole computer. There's no point in having
you gotta have a computer.
Man,
it's almost
the more that I think about it, like,
well, no,
sucks.
No, the best strategy, we've talked about it before. The best strategies of combating this stuff is
print it all out.
Write stuff on a pencil pad.
Yeah, because nobody can hack that.
Go back to analog.
Yeah. Carry a non-connected wallet with your cryptocurrency.
I told my dad that. He's like, I don't remember these passwords. I'm like, well, the best way is just to write it and
write
put it in
it down.
Safe place. He's like, how am I going to remember where to put it? I'm like, you're a lost cause at that point.
Well, he should know
You put it
because
right next to your
we used to tape it. We used to tape it on our drawer, our keyboard drawers.
So it's really interesting because when someone comes on in to steal stuff from your house, they're not stealing your notebook pad.
Not anymore. They're not anymore.
They're going to be going for the television, your computer, and they're jetting out.
In the safe.
No.
What?
No, they I don't even think they go for the big stuff anymore.
They don't go for the big
No,
stuff?
when I first moved here, I got hit.
Okay.
And they took all the small stuff.
Okay.
They take your
watches
laptops.
and
They
your-
took laptops, jewelry, music instruments, and
everything
weapons.
That you can as a resale
It has to
value
be
on.
quick in, quick
You have
out.
to, you have to be able to sell it at a pawn
It was
shop.
the police actually caught the person, and their car was full of stuff that they had BNR'd.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, guys, that ends our letter segment. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as we're going to be doing so during the break. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes.
Join the fun and grab tickets to GeekFest West, the 3-day Geek Festival extravaganza of fun and entertainment that will take place on the third weekend in July. Learn more at geekfest.com. GeekFest will feature diverse activities, including a film festival, vendor hall, street fair, outdoor music festival, cosmic cosplay, and video game tournaments. Join us at GeekFest West, the ultimate celebration of geek culture. To learn more, visit geekfest.com. That is geekfest.com.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right. Are you ready to look back into This Week in Technology, Mike?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Always. All right. April 13th, 2000. The lawsuit that kills Napster. This heavy metal group, have you ever heard of Metallica?
Yep.
Decides to sue Napster, alleging copyright infringement and racketeering. The lawsuit, later joined by Dr. Dre, as well as other lawsuits from the RIAA, eventually caused the original Napster service to shut down and file bankruptcy. However, the Pandora's box that Napster opened could not be closed, and digital distribution changed the music industry forever. As for Metallica, their reputation was tarnished a bit for some time by this move. Ironically, Metallica owned much of their early popularity to the spread of unauthorized copies of their early albums. As the heavy metal genre in general, Metallica in particular did not get much airplay at the time. It was reported that Metallica quietly encouraged the free spread of their music in the early 80s. Therefore, many viewed Metallica's action against Napster as hypocritical and greedy.
Well, yeah.
So
If you're not making money and you're shipping out free copies,
so you're sending out
that's
little
a little different.
tapes, and all of a sudden a big deal. But then all of a sudden Napster gets there,
Well,
and then Metallica's a big deal.
and
So
then
now,
they're losing money. See,
Yeah.
there is a difference there.
but are you really losing money? So
Yeah.
I downloaded thousands and thousands of songs when Napster was up.
Yeah, and you took money away from those creators.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really? Because I could
'Cause
listen to those
were,
on the
they
radio.
did not get paid. So when an artist has a song that gets played on the
Yeah.
radio, they make a royalty off of that.
But what
right?
if I liked a whole bunch of albums that I did not know about,
Mhm.
and then I went out and I actually ended up purchasing CDs and still some?
that's
back then.
that's another
you ended up
argument.
helping in the end, but in the beginning, you're more of a threat than anything.
This
Is
is it's still piracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
get
Which
you.
digital
is not a
piracy.
victimless crime.
No,
which is
that's
not a
correct.
vic-
I see that in every single movie I watch or DVD. I get you.
Yep, the FBI is coming for you.
I get you. Now, did you download stuff from Napster? Because I did. I just said
no,
You
I
didn't?
did not. no.
Okay. Odie, you weren't probably even born then, were you?
No, but I had another thing that like YouTube to MP3 stuff.
Okay, you two.
Yeah, so I was guilty of that. How is a 12-year-old going to get money? You know, when iTunes was around.
So you know what?
I don't know.
I remember taking digital
whole
tapes
thing, the
and
whole thing
recording off the
blurred a
radio
bunch of
Yeah, I
and
lines.
did that
selling
too,
those
but
to people in
Who
school.
would sell it?
Are
Oh,
you
yeah.
serious?
Yeah.
See, this is the difference between me and you.
There you
When
go.
I would do stuff like that, I would give it to a girl.
Oh, wow.
You know, you
okay.
do a mixtape, you
Okay,
give it
okay,
to a
okay,
girl
but
that you
you're
like.
getting it for affection.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
not doing it's
No,
not
I'm
free.
not trying to get money off it. He's over here hawking stuff on the corner.
Yeah,
Right, right,
I was much
You're-
more.
you're a little
upfront. I
dealer.
wasn't trying to get a love life out of it. I was
no,
like,
you were trying to
No.
get money.
$5. There
Yeah,
you
you
go.
were
All right.
trying to make money on it.
Okay, well, that was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch Tech Time history with over 200 weekly broadcasts spanning 4+ years of video, podcasts, and blog information, you can visit us at techtimeradio.com. To watch our older shows, Now we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have the Mark Mumble Whiskey Review. See you after this.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right, gentlemen. I have been waiting all week, actually 2 weeks, to get back in the studio to chat with you guys and talk about today, April 16th.
What is April 16th?
This should be National I Drank Everything in My Liquor Cabinet Day, because yesterday was tax day.
Yeah, tax day was. So today should be National Relax Day. That's what it should be. Tax day and National Relax Day.
It's kind of related. You guys are close.
Are we close? Wow.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
It is National Bean Counter Day.
Oh, okay.
How
okay.
Count those beans.
How is that relaxing?
It's
That's
not for
that's an
That's
accounting.
an
accountants are
National
relaxing.
Accounting Day because the accountants all get a vacation.
So
Yeah,
this
okay.
day is specially set aside to give accountants and other financial experts, collectively called bean counters, their much-deserved break and honor for all that important work they do for the benefit of their clients.
Yeah,
my
my accountant doesn't know
My
that.
accountant delayed we got ours in time, and then she delayed it. So.
My
So sweet.
accountant is still working on it.
What
I
a
know.
bunch of whiners. Well, thanks to all you bean counters out there, because many people have their finances in orders because of you.
That's right.
Right.
I do like my accountant.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's
I
talk
don't
about
know mine. I
let's
just
talk
use
about
a
our
firm.
whiskey now.
Okay.
So the very first Hirsch bottle was distilled in 1974 in Pennsylvania by A.H. Hirsch. He was an investment banker, aka
He was
a
a bean counter.
I like that. Now that's a clutch tie in there. Good
Thank
job.
you, Nathan. Now, all right, Odie,
He
thank
Worked
you.
on phonics.
Now, the current brand is loosely part of the lineage that traces itself back to this bottle, which was once considered the best American whiskey ever produced.
Okay.
Now, A.H. Hirsch Reserve 16-year-old was the centerpiece of Chuck Cowley's book, The Best Bourbon You'll Never Taste. Now, we have not had 2 thumbs up from our host for a month.
Ooh.
I hope this whiskey changes that. I was told by my friend Lee to grab this bottle. At the time, I did not realize it was double oak, which I usually do not care for at all.
Okay.
I finally cracked this open, and much to my surprise, I find this a phenomenal whiskey.
Okay.
One of my favorites of the year so far. For those in the know, this is said to be the same juice as a coveted Willet Purple Top for a fraction of the cost.
Ooh. Okay. I'm liking it, but I liked it.
Are
from the
you
beginning.
sure?
Yeah, no, I liked it from the beginning. I said I liked it. Are you liking it?
I still, the jury's still out. It's not bad, but it hasn't done anything yet that makes me want to.
Yeah, I've been wrong.
It's not a thumb.
lately.
It's not a thumbs up, thumbs down yet.
Okay.
You know?
I thought this was a for sure thumbs up for Mike and a maybe for Nathan.
Oh no, I'm liking it a lot though.
Because it's very wood forward, and Mike has really liked the wood lately.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's been a little tannic for Nathan when it gets too much wood. So
All right.
I don't know. We'll
You
see.
know what? Whiskey and technology, a perfect pairing. Just like olive oil and red wine vinegar on a salad.
That's a good one.
There you go.
Put a little garlic in there.
Yeah, let's
you
get
had
ready.
the AI come up with that one, didn't you? You
No,
didn't do that
I
on
did
your
that
own.
myself. Let's get ready for our technology fail of the week, brought to you by Elite Executive Services.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure. Oh,
I failed. Did I?
yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, our technology fail. AT&T customers get 6.3 million in data throttling refunds. AT&T throttled their data. Now, the FTC essentially already awarded the current AT&T wireless customers, but as a part of the ongoing lawsuit and settlement, those that used to be AT&T individuals, essentially from 2020 before, are now available to get 52 what is that? 52000.
You have to do math.
52,000. Sorry. $52,000 that are available out of the
that's 52 million.
52 million. Sorry, 52 million out of the $60 million settlement. Essentially, if you are a former AT&T customer, you can go online to the FTC and submit for a refund and get a valid claim to receive your funds. They come in PayPal payments or a check that will be sent in 90 to 30 days, respectively.
So it's 52 million divided by 267,000.
So there's plenty of money available. Yep, for former employees. All right, now let's move to Mike's mesmerizing moment.
This is Mike's mesmerizing moment, presented by Story Coffee. Visit storycoffee.com.
I know this is going to take us all the way up to our pick of the day. So here's what we got, Mike. 23andMe is facing financial difficulties, with its valuation crashing 98% from its peak and the NASDAQ threatening to delist its sub-$1 stock. The company has never made a profit and is burning cash so quickly that it's going to run out by 2025. We talked about their compromise also. Once valued at $6 billion, 23andMe now faces multiple class action lawsuits and a possible stock delisting. Now, what's going to happen to this company is what our conversation turned to last night during our prep show.
Yeah, what's the question?
Companies are going out of business and filing for bankruptcy. When a company files for bankruptcy, most of the time they get sold for pennies on the dollar. People will leave the company. And there is now a whole group of people that are going on into these companies, taking their PCs, taking their data. And since they don't have any agreement on the user data, 23andMe has a user data agreement.
Yeah, pose
people
this
are
like you
buying
posed
the
it
data
to me.
and then importing it, and you are losing all of your confidentiality that you signed with the company.
You didn't mention that the fact that they are considering selling the data so that they can get out of bankruptcy.
So there's a bunch of companies on the market that are facing bankruptcy right now. So if they were to sell that data and compromise what they had for their user agreements, they could stay in business. And companies are having a moral dilemma on, do they break the user agreements that they have out there so they can stay in business, or do they suffer without selling that data and go bankrupt?
Yeah, my problem, this is the crux of the problem, is a moral dilemma. If they have a user agreement that says they're not going to sell their data, they can't sell their data.
Okay, so what happens if the company goes bankrupt?
That is another problem that comes up. So you're saying the way you posed this last night is if they do this and sell the data to save the company is saved, but the data is not.
Correct.
If they do not save the company by selling the data is still lost. So either way, it's a lose-lose situation
for the consumer.
And my problem is that whoever is the judge in this matter, or who's ever can regulate this, that should be taken off the table completely.
But it's not.
The data should not be a part of the settlement as
so here's what happens to a company. They go bankrupt. They have all their computers laying there. Somebody comes on up as a wholesaler, buys all of their hardware, then decides to go in and farm that data. This is now, there are companies across the nation that are specifically going on in for bankruptcy to buy companies, to grab the data, export that, and then they never have the user agreement, so they can sell that data.
It doesn't matter. The problem is that either way, the data is gone. The question is, does 23andMe survive? And now that they've compromised their quote unquote ethics, which I have a problem with corporate, because corporations and ethics are not very good bedfellows. Okay. If 23andMe sells the data and goes against their own user agreement, they are telling you straight to your face that they don't care. And so if they survive, are they really going to survive in the long run? Probably not. Because who's going to trust them that after that?
So if they choose not to sell the data,
I think it's clear that they should honor the agreement. And
let a wholesaler,
because the data is going to be lost anyway. The data is going to be lost anyway.
Mark, did you have a comment there?
No, I was gonna. I'm agreeing with Mike on this one. Either way, the consumer is in trouble because if they sell the data, their data is being sold even though they're promised not to. And if it goes to bankruptcy court and they don't, it becomes an asset and nobody's going to protect that.
And that's the problem. That's the real problem. The problem isn't whether or not they're going to sell the data and save the company, or the problem is that nobody's protecting that data outside of the system.
That's correct.
That's the real problem.
All right, let's go to our pick of the day here. We are running out of time.
I haven't even finished.
You haven't
And
finished
now
yours?
our pick of the day
you
for
haven't
our
either.
whiskey
In fact, you got more than I do.
Let's see what
That's 'cause we're
bubbles
so
to the
busy
top.
talking. All right, so I'm going to give this a thumbs up. Absolutely, I liked it from the beginning. Mike,
I will give it a thumbs up.
Okay, Odie, what'd you think?
I'll give it a thumbs up as well.
Okay,
Unanimous thumbs up.
There you
for
go.
Hirsch's, the single barrel double oak, straight bourbon, 9 years, 112 proof, $150 MSRP. Though you do see the sticker on it, I got it for a little bit less than
you
MSRP.
did. Way to go. That's a value. Just
Yeah.
don't click on too many
He
values.
got
You're
a
getting
smuggling
yourself in
ring.
No, that was legit purchase.
that wasn't his underground.
It's
little,
underground whiskey.
yeah, he's got his own little cronies that are all there grabbing their little whiskey, selling it. Okay, well, we want to thank everybody. It was an honor.
Would
to
you
be
call
the
that
host
the
of today's
brown
show.
market?
That's a brown market.
The brown
Oh,
market.
the
that's
brown
pretty
market.
good.
Yeah. All right. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you give us a 5-star review on any podcast service you listen to us. Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.